Hello everybody, this is Daryl Whitman with Destinationwvftv. Thank you for watching. A recent article in the Wall Street Journal dated 12/11/23 highlighted the fact that cruise passengers are being removed, kicked off, given the boot off cruise ships. Why? Because of pot, weed, marijuana, cannabis, whatever you want to call it. Carnival has also started using drug sniffing dogs and sending out multiple pre-cruise emails against bringing it on board. However, before we examine the cruise industry, let's take a brief look at how the U.S. views this issue. It may provide some perspective on why there may be confusion for passengers. Currently in the U.S., 24 states and the District of Columbia have legalized recreational use of marijuana. Washington State and Colorado were the first states to do so in 2012. Approximately 54% of the U.S. population live in states where recreational use of marijuana is legal. Funny thing, I remember me and my wife in Las Vegas when Nevada began selling CBD oils and other cannabis products. The very first day sales were allowed, lines were long to buy these products. So that begs the question, why do people buy these products? I'm glad you asked that question. The reasons generally fall into two categories, medical and recreational. The National Institute of Health reported the overall prevalence of self-reported cannabis use for medical purposes was 27%. The most common physical reasons include use to manage pain, 53%, sleep, 46%, headaches and migraines, 35%, appetite, 22%, and nausea and vomiting, 21%. For mental health reasons, the most common were for anxiety, 52%, depression, 40%, and PTSD trauma, 17%. There were 11% who reported using cannabis for managing other drug or alcohol use, and 4% for psychosis. So what do the cruise lines have to say about all of this? What are their policies? Carnival's ticket contract under Section 4, baggage, personal property, prohibited items, and limitation of liability specifically states, and by the way, Carnival has the most comprehensive policy out there. Marijuana and cannabis, and all marijuana and cannabis derivatives, and all illegal controlled substances are strictly prohibited and may not be brought on board any Carnival vessel. Marijuana and all marijuana and cannabis derivatives are strictly prohibited from Carnival vessels, even if they are legal in some states or jurisdictions. Guest hereby expressly agrees that Carnival has, at all times with or without notice, the right to search guest cabin and baggage and or personal effects for any prohibited items, including but not limited to drugs, weapons, and other contraband at any location to ensure compliance with these and other restrictions. Guests and their luggage will be routinely and randomly screened by security personnel and screening tools and equipment, including narcotics and contraband sniffing dogs during embarkation, at ports of call, and on board. Any guest who refuses any such search or screening, or any guest traveling with such items and or attempting to board the vessel with any such items, may be denied boarding or reboarding and are disembarked, and no refund of the cruise fare will be issued. You will be solely responsible for any and all damage and or loss caused by violation of this policy. Okay, look, it doesn't get any plainer than that. Royal Caribbean, in its guest health, safety, and conduct policy under the heading Marijuana Prohibited, states marijuana, even in its medicinal form or for medicinal purposes, shall be prohibited. Norwegian Cruise Lines in their prohibited items list, bullet point number 1 says, all illegal narcotics/drugs, including marijuana prescribed for medical purposes and other items used as drug paraphernalia. This includes all products containing CBD, oils, candies, and gummies, or any product containing THC. So the big three cruise lines in the U.S., Carnival, Royal Caribbean, and Norwegian, all ban cannabis in all forms from their cruise ships. Carnival even adds regardless of whether it's legal in some states or jurisdiction, where Royal Caribbean and Norwegian don't expressly indicate that, meaning there could be confusion because of it. So what are the consequences for cruisers when caught with cannabis on board? The Wall Street Journal cited a couple of instances where passengers were caught with cannabis products. A Texas woman received a lifetime ban from sailing with Carnival after CBD gummies were found in her carry-on luggage. This was during a pre-cruise security screening for a trip this summer. A 29-year-old TikTok influencer from Orlando, Florida says he was asked to disembark in Jamaica from a 7-day cruise midway through the trip after he was caught on surveillance smoking marijuana in the upper deck of the ship. The man says he has a medical marijuana card and had previously sold with products containing THC without any issues. But you know, there are always those people out there who know it's not permitted, but look to find ways to sneak it on board anyway. It's just gonna happen. According to the article, there are cruise forums and social media sites where travelers trade tips about how to sneak substances onto ships. Some put CBD gummies in containers meant for chewable multivitamins. You always know there's always those few who will test the system. And then when they get caught, I didn't know. Wrong. Okay, so here's my take on this, for better or worse. I personally would prefer not to have to smell weed on my cruise. I don't even like smelling cigarette smoke. It gives me a headache. You can probably tell I'm a non-smoker, so I don't necessarily mind these products being banned. And that's just my take. However, I can understand why there may be a medicinal need for some to have them. I just don't know where the happy medium is. If that could be resolved, I could possibly change my opinion. Until then, it is what it is. And that's all I have to say about that, in the words of the famous Forrest Gump. So let me ask you, what's your opinion about this? Leave a comment on your point of view, one way or the other. No judgment by me, just honest dialogue. After you leave your comment, I invite you to subscribe to our channel. I'd love to have you as a part of our community. We have a lot more content planned for 2024, and I'd love to be able to share it with you. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again real soon. Oh yeah, hook 'em horns. Bye-bye. This is Daryl Whitman. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next episode of Destination WVF TV.